just make you cry, and I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time, and I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I would rather lie. I would rather lie. I don't wanna fight. I would rather lie to you. I'm honest, I'll just make you cry, and I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. We're back. It's season 14, round 11, Japan, land of anime, apparently, and Godzilla. Yep, Suzuka. Classic track here. It's myself, Ocean Chief, on commentary with the fabulous, no not fabulous, it's CM Punk.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Hello. Yeah, so quickly, the session is live already, so I'll just go through the standings very quickly. Our gamer is leading the championship by the slimmest of margins, 166 points over Christian, so 10 points behind. Equals has entered the fray after his win last week, 110 points, so he's still in it statistically, but he needs a strong performance here today. McLaren in the constructors still on top, but Mercedes and Red Bull also there lurking in the background. 236 points for McLaren, Mercedes 202, and Red Bull 192 points. So the constructors is looking like it's going to go down to the wire, but let's go down to the live session, CM Punk, and let's see what we've got in store for everyone today.
I believe Gyat Strike is the first man who's going to be doing his hot lap, as he's the first person to leave the pits, and he's now going for the Sector 1. As he's down with the S's, heading into Sector 2. We're about to see what time he's going to put on Sector 1. 31.823. I think it's a good time, it's a bad time for Sector 1 in Suzuka, because I have no comparison whatsoever so far. I have no idea how good of a time that is for Sector 1, but we're about to find out in a moment. Gamer joins the lobby. Was he out? Was he not in the lobby though? Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't in the lobby. He hasn't got a car, so he will not. Oh, he will be able to get a car during qualifying.
Yeah, I think he will be given a car since he joined that early. But I can't find him on the board yet, so yeah, we're gonna have to wait a bit. Gyat Strike almost rounding up his first hot lap of the session, and he's gonna be setting the delta time for everybody else at top. Let's see what it's gonna be. After rounding up the final corner, Gyat Strike delivers 121.189, so not underneath 128 so far, but definitely some of the drivers will try to make it. Now let's see who's gonna top him. I believe Jake Yole is gonna be the second guy. Finish a hot lap in the session, and he delivers 127.642, so he is quicker. Gamer is in the lobby. Yeah, I can see him right now. There he is, P3. So far, of course.
Yeah, just about the race yesterday, Lepson was pole at 27.6, so it already has been matched today with that 27.6 by Jake Yule, who is reserved today, and this is his first race in Tier 2 in SLR.
Jake Yole has to be careful. If he's going to stand too long there, he's going to get DSQ, so he has to at least roll the car a bit, or at least go on the grass, because if you stay there for too long, you're going to get out of the session. Zoom makes it P2, Smelto P3, Skamagas P4, and Tilde P5. Those are the times so far. Lepson working on his lap, and where is he going to go? Williams going P3 to 127.742. Gamer still in the pits. Gurla is rounding up his hot lap, and one of the McLarens as well. Let's see it. Christian, there he is, 126.848, the first person to go underneath 127. Nice one from him. And Gurla, P7 so far, so he's going to work on that. Eagle Ghost, P2, 127.4, so he's getting closer towards Christian, but Christian makes a pretty decent gap above everybody else, and now they're going to have to put in the hard work to get better than that McLaren.
Yep, equals as well. It just started his lap in the background there as Lipson crossed the line. Eagle Ghost as well. That is a fine lap from him, 27.4. Yeah, 26s seem to be the order of the day. That's what you're going to need to be at the front end of the grid. But I think 27s are a low 27s pretty good as well. But yeah, equals on a lap, 31.2 in the first sector. So he's looking pretty good. He usually does very good in qualifying, so interested to see what time he can put on the board at the end of this lap.
Kit goes P3, so McLaren's Christian's teammate. Nice time from him, as one of the new guys around here actually delivers a great time so far in this session. But then again, we're still waiting for the big boys to come out. Gamer, Equals, still hasn't set the time yet. Equals is going through the second sector as we speak. Still gonna have to wait a bit longer. We are down to 11 minutes left in the qualifying session, as Equals puts purple second sector, so it's looking good for the Mercedes driver who is still in this championship battle. Let's not count him out just about yet. What is he gonna deliver after his first hot lap as he crosses the finish line, and he goes P2, 126.923, the second driver to go underneath 127 tonight so far.
Interesting stuff, yeah. And our gamer who joined the session a little bit late, I think due to technical issues, he is on an outlap, so he is a bit out of sync with the other drivers, and it looks like he's only going to get possibly 2 runs in qualifying today, which isn't ideal. But Giannis here is on a lap right now, 15.4. No, he's not on a lap, he's on an in lap. So we will join our gamer who is only in sector 2 here. Who else is? That's it. There's no one else on track.
That's it, yeah. No one else.
Dear.
It is a weird situation, but yeah, our gamer the only one on the track right now. So we're gonna have to wait a bit. Get Strike, is he finishing his hot lap or is he coming in? He's actually finishing his hot lap, we missed it. Get Strike, but he only improves so far to go P10 from, I believe, P12. So the AlphaTauri with a bit of improvement, but not good enough yet. Matt is on an outlap right now as well. Jake Yole hits another outlap, so he's going to work on that improvement. But our gamer is going to be the first man to go for a hot lap from the cars that are on the track currently.
Yeah, just before he starts his lap, let's have a look at the chat. I've got Tipsy Bob, aka Damien, saying Dice P1, and then let down by Dice not getting P1, and then Nico saying OMG hi. So hello to everybody who's watching. Let us know if the audio levels are good or not. But yeah, hopefully we're in store for a good race. Usually we are in tier 2, as you well know, CM Punk. Lots of fast drivers. Our gamer now in sector 1 looks like he is pushing the limits there, as he's using a lot of track, and it's looking pretty good for sector 1.
Yeah, that was a very steep entrance, but it was clean, and he's keeping it on the track nice and tidy so far. Let's see, is this going to be a possible purple sector 1? There it is. That's first one purple. I wouldn't trust that 100% due to the last time I was here. We had like 15 purples in the qualifying session due to a game glitching out, but I don't think that is a glitch. I think that's our gamer putting in the lap. We're gonna find out in a moment. A bit of traffic ahead of him. Hopefully everybody get out of the harm's way, because nobody wants to interrupt the man who is working on a possible pole position lap. Oh my goodness.
What are we watching?
Yeah. That definitely, at least a bit, ruined his lap, of course, perhaps. I'm not sure. Maybe we're gonna see an actual decent lap from Gamer. He's not gonna back it off, he's gonna deliver it to the finish line. So let's see what is this gonna put him, with the fact in mind that he will most likely try to improve with 8 minutes left to go. And as you said, only 2 runs. One of them was a bit, let's say, not ruined, but definitely impeded, as he goes only P3 at the moment. So he's gonna have 1 more shot, 2 at most, I'm not sure, but definitely 1 more shot to go for a provisional pole.
Yeah, might be able to get 2, but yeah, it's going to be tight. Matt is on the lap, and I just checked his sector 1 time. He is 1/10 up on our gamer and equals sector 1 time, so I think given the fact that equals is P2 right now, 1/10 behind Christian, this could be a good lap for Matt. Oh,
Mercedes in the wall.
Oh my
That is
God.
Jake Yole No idea what happened, but I saw him standing at his side, and then a DNF as Gamer was passing right alongside him, so Jake Yole must have gone some kind of slip up as he hits the wall that he's not gonna come out from, and he finishes the qualifying session. So far P6, but a couple of minutes left to go, so anything can change in that direction.
Yeah, Matt coming up to the final chicane. Place where you can lose or gain a lot of time, and he takes it with wild abandon, carrying all that momentum all the way down to the flag. Is he going to get pole? It is enough for P3, so he just about matching equals, but look at that gap from equals to Matt. Not much in it, and I'm sure he's got some more time in the tank if he can get back to the pits for a new set of boots.
Yeah, exactly, and we're still waiting for Crowley Voice, Rocco, and Larson to put in their laps. I believe Rocco is down on his hot lap as he's going through second sector, so he's going to put a time on the board with a couple of minutes left to go in the qualifying session for the Japanese Grand Prix, exactly 6.5 minutes, as Rocco makes his way for the final corner of the Suzuka track. And where's he going to go? From P16 up into P5, respectable time from the Alfa Romeo driver. Now Crowley Voice should be the next person to deliver the time. There he is as he comes across the finish line. P4, so he improves over his opponent again. So far 127.250, and Larson still in the pits.
Look at Christian, he is almost 2/10 up in his time. He's currently pole sitter, so this is going to be an incredible lap from him. Crosses the line, 26.5. Oh my word, huge gains, almost 3/10 in total. That is the gauntlet well and securely laid down in front of the likes of Equals, Matt, and yes, Crowley Voice. Great lap from him, our gamer in the pits, so he will want to get out ASAP and get another lap in. Plenty of time out there, it seems, on the track.
And I noticed Equals improving by 1/10 of a second after first sector, so that is a decent improvement. Nowhere near enough to go for pole position, but he's definitely going to focus on trying to hold on to that front row, which is going to be good enough for the starting position here in Suzuka. When you're going against Christian in a qualifying session, P2 is almost like a pole for you. We saw this guy deliver plenty of incredible laps over the past seasons in SLR. As Equals grabbed a bit of that slipstream from Williams, and he's actually having purple second sector, 3/10 of improvement. This might be huge for Equals in terms of holding on for that front row as he makes his way for the final moments of his lap. Oh, a bit of slip up. He saved it. It's going to be costing a bit of time, but still he improves, going 126.6. And you have to wonder, without that slip up, could it be a time close to a provisional pole position at the moment?
Yeah, and I noticed as well when he went for the chicane, you can, the second part of that final chicane, you can take a lot of curb, and he didn't take so much of it. Maybe he was a bit wary of invalidating his lap, but yeah, definitely he knows there's a wee bit of extra time in that lap. That'll give him confidence on his final run as he seeks to get the most out of that car. He definitely has the potential for pole today, but Christian as well has time for another lap. Currently sat in, well, he's actually coming out of the garage for his, he's going into the garage rather, sorry, but he will get another run in.
Yeah, and so far we get a bit of sleep on the track as Eagle Ghost is on an out lap while everybody else is either coming in or coming out onto the track. I believe Get Strike, he's done with his lap, so yeah, nobody on the quick lap at the moment. Larson still in the pits, not coming out with 3.5 minutes left to go, so I have to wonder about that. Is he going to show up on the track today in the qualifying session? Is this some kind of penalty, or is he just not coming out on purpose? Because I have no idea. I don't think he has like quali ban or something. Maybe.
That could be the case, yeah. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, that could explain it. Hopefully no technical issues with his setup. Dice going very, very slow on what I believe is his in-lap. He's not low on fuel, so I'm not quite sure. Is he just trying to harvest ERS possibly for another run?
Yeah, and Eagle Ghost goes spinning just after beginning his hot lap with 3 minutes left to go in the session. That is not a good news for the Alpine driver, not even mentioning the tire damage, but and overheating it, but of course the time he's gonna have to take. He's gonna have to calm his head down and go for one more round as we're running out of time in the qualifying session. 3 minutes left to go as the cars begin to hit the track. Crowley coming out for an outlap. Lapson, Zoom, everybody else as well, so you should be getting the final round of laps any moment now.
I think it's going to get very busy out there, isn't it? As everybody's probably trying to leave it to the very last second.
Look at the
across
main
line.
straight. Look at the main straight. Everybody coming out.
Yeah, now it's go time. We're going to see everybody come out of the pits, but yeah, they got to be careful because if you're at the back of that line, you may not get to the line in time. There is plenty of time on the board, 2:20, and the lap takes roughly about 1:30. So yeah, they just need to be careful of that as Dice is underway. He is on a lap here, so he has charged up his ERS. He is on slightly worn tires here, so that's not ideal.
Oh, Zoom!
Oh my word,
What
happened there?
happened?
Illegal blocking, so I think he was he coming out of the pits there, and he was, like you said
I believe
before?
so, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of traffic, but you have to be careful. That is one of the cons of, you know, having this much traffic on the track. You are always in danger of picking up these penalties that we saw plenty this season. So we're gonna have to wait to see what's gonna happen. Everybody on an outlap, not a single person except for Larson in the pits at the moment, so it's a full track of cars, and I'm lost who's gonna be the first man to try. Larson retires, so he's not gonna be showing himself in the qualifying session. Now who will be the first man to begin his hot lap? There's a Red Bull down that main straight of Zoom. We know he'll be sent back 5 places, but Zoom will be the first man to get a hot lap on the final run. But the most important thing is between Christian and the possible pole sitters. Who's gonna threaten the McLaren? All eyes are on equals. Most importantly, he was the closest man to do it so far, with a single mistake. Of course, Christian still might improve, but it's gonna take a mighty lap to improve that already good time on provisional pole position.
Yeah, so Christian has started his lap. I'm just watching Dice here as he finishes up. Looks like he's not going to improve. 27.7 current time. He actually hits the wall on the start finish. Straight does not improve, but yeah, let's go with Christian, who's in sector 1. And I'm very eager to see these sector times. 31 seems to be a good sector 1 time. And Christian getting a bit loose there. It looked like on my screen anyway, as he's obviously pushing this car to the absolute limits.
Yeah, Coley Boy's improving by 0.2 of a second after first sector as equals begin his final hot lap right now. I'm curious if everybody's gonna make it to begin their final hot lap, as we are having how many seconds till the end of the official session? I can't see due to a yellow flag. We got 5 seconds. Has everybody made it? Crowley Voice invalidated his lap time, so he is done with the session. Almost hit the wall as well, but he somehow saved it. Other than that, I believe everybody made it. Zoom P6, but he will be sent back a couple of places, so we're gonna have to wait for the official results. Eagle goes P8 so far. Who's gonna top them, if anybody's going to top them? Christian improving after second sector as well, so that is huge. From McLaren, Equals improving as well, but not enough to beat Christian at the current rate they're going. Christian onto the finish line. This will be improvement, most likely. And it is 126.1, almost going 125. I don't think Equals can have it. I don't think Equals can match that. Matt going P3 at the moment. We've got Lepson putting in time to go P7 as we wait for the rest of the boys from the top. Rocco goes P3 at the moment. Nice time from an Alfa Romeo. Kit goes P5. Our gamer still working on a lap. So is Equals. Who's gonna align himself alongside Christian on the starting grid of the Grand Prix till they retires? And now Equals across the finish line. Not enough. It is front row for now. All eyes are gamer. There's a huge improvement after second sector. How huge? Huge enough to go P3, but not enough to go in the front row.
Wow. I'm in awe of that time, 26.1. That is incredibly fast. 4/10 clear of the rest of the field in Tier 2. I mean, Christian really is in a league of his own in Japan, it seems. Whether that translates to race pace, we will remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah, the race pace and the race action, we know that despite you may be the fastest guy on the grid, you don't have to finish first, as we see it happen a couple of times in the league racing overall. So Christian's going to have to be careful, especially coming into that turn 1, having plenty of guys behind him who will want to overtake him as soon as possible, so he won't get away too quickly. But yeah, we are looking at Christian pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix. Equals on the front row. The championship rival gamer P3. Definitely not where he wants to be sitting, so he's going to have to deal with Equals if he wants to face Christian. But will he be able to? We're about to find out in a couple of minutes.
Sorry sorry, I was muted there. I was talking away. But Nico in chat is asking, do you still get a lot of tower wear if the AI does the in-lap? I don't think that is a thing anymore. I don't think that's a thing. It might still be a thing, but I think people don't generally try to use tires anymore, especially softs, as they last for so little amount of time.
Ooh, heavy rain.
Ooh.
Heavy rain in Japan. That
know-
is going to be interesting to say the
Yeah,
least.
I know a man who would be very happy if he's watching this
Absolutely.
race. He likes the moist
Absolutely.
stuff. This
He must
is
be
gonna.
fuming he's not here right now.
Yeah, he might show up still, but yeah, this is interesting because we don't know if it's going to be a full wet race for the entire race. Is it going to dry up? I hope so. I like changeable conditions, but Japan in the wet, that is going to be a real challenge. We're going to really see which driver is going to excel today in Tier 2.
I mean, the Suzuka track is difficult on itself, and adding rain on top of that is just a cherry on top of the cake, so that is going to be one hell of a race on our hands. Let's check the tire situation real quick. We're having full inters for everybody, not a single wets in sight. So most likely it is just small rain or a possibility of drying up quickly. So we're going to have to wait to see how the race will unfold, but at this point in time we can see plenty of raindrops coming down onto the track with everybody starting on intermediates, so turn 1 is gonna be a hell lot of mess, at least in theory, to go through, as it's difficult to go through turn 1 without crashes on the usual occasion, not even mentioning including the rain.
Indeed, and I want to ask Chad, actually. I want to see if Chad can get involved here and tell us who do you think is going to win this race. But not only that, how many safety cars and when are the safety cars going to come out? Is it lap 1 carnage, or are these guys going to behave themselves today? We saw a lot of safety cars yesterday in Tier 3, and that was a dry race. And yeah, we had the full quota yesterday, so I'm expecting something similar today. But usually when you expect safety cars, it's usually when they don't happen, so anything can happen. It's a motor race.
Yeah, I mean, if you take Suzuka with rain and the fact this one spin is enough to put you in the wall, there definitely will be some safety cars, at least in theory, but it smelled like a safety car from a mile, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least 1 to 2, 3 safety cars.
Equals span coming out of the spoon.
Yeah, as I was saying about spinning
Yeah,
in Suzuka hitting the wall.
There's another car as well behind.
Yeah.
Spinning. So yeah, that
Equals is not gonna line up.
That's not a good sign, is it?
That was Giannis who was caught spinning. I mean, at least he didn't hit the wall, so he's gonna line up on the grid himself. But Equals will not have this ability. He'll be starting from a default starting position. So Christian with a bit of advantage over Equals. Gamer will be a bit closer towards Equals if he lines up properly on the grid, so that could be an advantage heading into turn 1. And we're gonna have to keep our eyes open on the boys. Who's gonna make it through turn 1 clean? Who's gonna have some kind of issues? Of course, we hope for everybody to go through it clean, but I have a feeling this might not be the case in soaking wet Suzuka.
Yeah, Nico is asking, does the DSQ affect anything? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the formation lap. Yeah, it sets you back a bit, doesn't it, from your grid slot? Just marginally, but that might be key here in a wet restart as Suzuka. We're about to get underway. Let's go, CM Punk.
Yeah, here we go as the race is about to go underway. And the lights are up, and the lights are off. We're racing in Suzuka, and who's gonna make it first? After turn 1, Equals struggling heavily on the start. He's dropping 2 positions, 3 positions heading into turn 1. Christian holds to his lead as Matt was being pushed wide by Equals, but he holds on to P5, and Equals dropping heavily. Collision! Matt and Equals taking each other out from the race. Safety car deployed, I believe so. Everything is yellow. We don't get information about this yet, but yeah, Christian slowing down. This will be a safety car, and then Matt is out of this Grand Prix with Equals still going.
Oh my god, that is incredibly bad luck from Matt. I was riding on board with which are Equals, yeah, and it seemed like Equals just stuck his nose in and wouldn't back out. And I think if he backed out, it would have saved Matt. But unfortunately, Matt paid the price there. through no fault of his own. Not a good start. Virtual safety car, yeah, so not a full safety car. As Danny Co says hello in chat. Hello Danny, how are you?
Yeah, it'll be only a virtual. I mean, Equals dropped plenty of positions. Awful start from him as we go racing again, and something must have went wrong there. Giannis already overtakes his teammates Galagas for P7 as they must have been working together on this one. And as he goes through up chasing Eagle Ghost. So far the top boys are spreading apart, but the midfield is all about that action. They're absolutely stacked right now. Jake Yole trying to find a way against Lepson right ahead of him, while the two Aston Martins have to wonder, do they go together, do they fight against each other, as the Red Bull is lurking behind them. That is Zoom lurking behind Jake Yole as he makes an overtake to pass him up for P10. Somebody's going very wide there in the back. That was Alfa Romeo, I believe, of Smelto, who was going very wide in that corner. As Smelto, gets a free second time penalty for cutting those corners. Aston Martin swapping places
Smelto
again.
in the wall, yep. Smelto right into the pit wall. And that might be his full safety car. I don't see it coming out on track though. Might just be another VSC, but he is minus front wing and lying across the start-finish grid. So they'll have to get that car.
Yeah, that is a virtual. That is virtual. We already get the confirmation that is only a VSC. So second VSC of the day. I have to wonder what it's gonna take for a full-blown safety car. If Equals and Matt both kiss the wall, one of them out, no full safety car. So it's gonna take a lot to bring it out onto the track here in Japan. Equals gets a pit stop after hitting that wall with Matt, so he's now gonna get a fresh front wing as he rejoins the race. And Equals gets a penalty for Delta, so that is going to be huge for Equals. I mean, he's in the back, but that's going to completely cut him off from this race, as Christian is still leading in Suzuka, and everybody else behind him is trying to just follow through, waiting for someone's mistake. Both Aston Martins, Giannis and Skamagas, trying to work together, but it's difficult when you're so close to your teammate, as they're struggling to decide what to do, let each other through, defend or attack. As they're having people coming right behind them. It's Lepson getting closer towards the two green cars, and Zoom sitting right on his back, so there's plenty of action in the midfield, as the top seems to be so far without action, but Gamer is lurking behind Christian. He will want to overtake him once he gets the opportunity. It won't change too much, but they don't have DRS in the reins, so you won't be able to get hunted down by your opponent. Oh, Christian that had the best exit, and Gamer's now gonna wait for his chance into turn 1 as he gets Slipstream down the main straight. Here comes the Red Bull of our Gamer. Oh, Christian! Was that a brake test? No idea what happened here.
That looked like a lag spike or something like that. Yeah, that was terrifying from our Gamer's point of view.
Oh my god. Oh, we have yellow flags. Eagle goes out. Another driver out. It is another VSC. What is going on with those VSCs? We have lost 3 drivers in the span of 3 laps. So that gives an average of 1 driver out per lap. Shame for another driver being out of the race. And I'm not sure if that was a brake test or a glitch, like a game lag. No idea what happened there. It looked weird. But nonetheless, Gamer wasn't able to pass Christian because of that situation. And with Eagle Ghost being out, Equals makes another pit stop. Is he going to retire? No, he's actually coming back onto the track, so Equals is still in there, trying to hold on in this GP.
Yeah, that is good to see. He's obviously... Is he serving as driver, actually?
No idea, but Gyatstrike gets another penalty for Delta again, so it's the second penalty for Delta in this race. This time it goes to Gyatstrike.
And is that a drive-through? Yeah, it is, as a drive-through. And Equals was unable to serve his drive-through during the VSC, so he still has that drive-through to serve, which might indicate he might retire from the session, but he should stay in it. We've had plenty of safety cars so far. We haven't had a full safety car. Tilda free second time penalty.
3 seconds.
Worth pointing out, we've had 3 VSCs in 3 laps. You can have a maximum of 5 safety cars, and that's safety car or VSC, so there's only 2 left in this race. Are we going to get one on lap 4 and 5 and then be done with safety cars?
No idea. Hopefully we're going to have a bit of racing without safety cars, as I'm looking at Giannis, who is looking at Kit, who is looking at Crowley Voice. It could be a 3-man battle as Kit makes a move down into turn 1 against Crowley Voice, makes a pass on the Alpine, while Aston Martins are lurking behind both of them, but Kit makes a nice overtake as he's now sitting at P4. Rocco is trying to find a way past our gamer, as not gonna make a move just about yet, but he is quick, being right behind the Red Bull. In the midfield, we've got some close fighting as well, but due to those conditions, drivers are fighting more the cars and track than themselves, actually, because it's a very difficult situation in terms of conditions. Kit makes the fastest first sector, but Crowley Voice, he's gonna try to make a move in here, as he will have the inside line in that corner. Oh, Kit is trying to go around the outside. Could he hold on to this position? Yes, he will. Yep. On the outside in this corner, the inside should be technically better, but Kit survives this attack from Crowley Voice, and Giannis, he's actually gonna benefit from that as he moves up into P5 after Crowley lost the position. Now he lost 2, and Skamagas is right on his back as well.
Yeah, Crowley struggling at this phase of the race on these wet conditions. P6 for now, so yeah.
We got info from Eagle Ghost about his crash that we actually missed, but he says, don't know if you saw that, but from my point of view, I fully kept the outside, but Giannis just pushed me off, spinning me. So that wasn't Eagle Ghost's mistake as I thought to be, because I didn't saw the crash. Eagle Ghost says it was the fault of Giannis. Interesting. Yeah, I will definitely take a look into this after the race, I'm sure of it.
Crowley looking like he had a run on Giannis there, but backs out. Could have used a bit of ERS. Looks like he's going to go down the inside. This is a bit sketchy. He's going into the S's side by side, backs out. Yeah, you don't really want to do that, especially in these conditions. Hard to do in the dry, but even harder in the wet, as you'd imagine. And it looks like Giannis is struggling out there, going wide, and that's opening the door once again for Crowley Voice, but he just can't get a run to get the overtake done as they head down to Degner, another very fast and furious section. Oh, and Crowley is coming under attack as well from another Aston Martin from behind. So Crowley is in a bit of an Aston Martin sandwich right now, and it seems to be oh my word, the heavy braking zone in the hairpin is causing issues for some drivers out there today, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely, and as they are battling each other, right behind him is another fight between Lepson and Zoom, as the Red Bull driver is struggling to pass the Williams, as he's going to try to find another situation as we speak. And at the same time, Aston Martins of Skamagas is still trying to overtake Crowley Voice, so plenty of fight in the midfield today, while Gamer has lost second towards Christian, and Rocco lost 1.6 towards our Gamer. So the top boys are driving away from each other, trying to build some gaps, while the midfield is all about that fight. Skamagas trying to overtake Alpine again, couldn't find a way past him. And Zoom is right on the back of Lepson. He should be making a move into turn 1 as they head down a main straight, picking up a bit of slipstream along the way. And Zoom makes a move up into P8 ahead of Lepson, and he's now going to try to hunt down the Aston Martins. What is Crowley Voice doing there as he went way too wide, giving position towards Skamagas, and in the same time, Zoom made a mistake. Yeah, Zoom made a mistake, and Lepson benefited off of that. So yeah, drivers are absolutely battling conditions right now.
Yeah, Zoom got caught out there in turn 1, went out wide for turn 2, and that allowed Lepson to get up past him. I have to say, as I just noticed, it's a battle of the Greeks for P5. Giannis, Skamagas, Crowley Voice, all Greek drivers. So that is a battle for the best of the Greeks. So that's why that is. Zoom getting overtaken by Jake Yule. What a fine move there from Jake, but it looks like he's going to lose it on the exit of the hairpin.
No, he won't. Ooh,
oh my
surprisingly.
word! What a move from Jake. That came out of nowhere.
Great one. We got info from the chat that the rain has stopped, and I bet you $10 you won't guess who pointed it out.
He's here, the rain
master. Of course
master.
He's here. Of course he's here. As he points out, and he's actually correct. The rain has stopped, and now we have to wait. Will the conditions improve, and how much? Because rain technically could be back later on, but as of right now, inters are of course the best option to be having on your wheels. Actually, the grid has started to actually pull apart from each other. We don't have too much close racing except for Zoom and Jake Yole. Zoom is gonna try to find a way back up into P9 against the Mercedes driver. It could be difficult in turn 1. Is he gonna make a move? No, Zoom is gonna back it off. DRS enabled. Well, that is a huge conditions improvement, as it seems. So slick tires just must be a matter of time at this point.
Yes, so I reckon I think most drivers will pit this lap once you see that DRS enabled. Oh, and there you go. First driver in the pits is Dice, so he will come into the pits. I think most drivers are going to go for hards. I don't think mediums can get to the end, and if they can, they're going to be at their absolute ragged edge by the end. You'll be driving on the rims, but we may see a few drivers try that out. Dice goes for the safe option. The hards are on. He is the first guy to pit, so he might gain a bit of time from that, but he was a bit off the field to begin with. Equals as well in the pits, so that will benefit his race somewhat. Might be able to catch up with the lead pack. As Equals goes for medium, so a bit of a risky strat from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guys from the back, they technically don't even need to take that risk because they can actually take the risk compared to the guys in front. Of course, Christian will most likely go for hard Soul Gamer, but the guys from the back, I mean, they can just go on for mediums and just pray for a safety car until the end of the race to go for softs. I mean, there's not too much to lose at this point in time, so they might experiment a bit, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. And look at this, Christian is staying out, Gamer is staying out, everybody staying out except for Rocco and Kit. Actually, maybe just the leaders are staying out. Yeah, because Skamaga's coming in, Janice couldn't because it would be a double stack, and Skamaga's failed to come in properly as he slips and gets a 5-second time penalty. That was going so smooth for Aston Martins until it just doesn't.
It's so easily done, but it really impacts your race. 5 seconds, that's very costly. He can serve it if he pits again, but also you don't want to take that big chunk of time out of your finishing time. Yeah, that is not ideal for him, obviously.
And the tire situation is very interesting. I mean, look at it. We got the top 5 guys staying out on intermediates. So Gamer, Christian, the leaders of the race, staying out, thinking it's the best decision. Most guys going in for mediums, and Crowley Voice on softs. So the tire situation is absolutely interesting right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this soft option. I mean, that means he definitely has to pit by the end. But staying on an extra lap on the inters, probably not the worst move in the world. It might be able to actually switch on the mediums and might help him get to the end on mediums. But yeah, I'm interested to see where Rocco and Kit come, how they fare as these lead guys pit from P1 to P5, still to pit. So Rocco could well be in the lead of this race once they do that.
Yeah. I'm looking at the gap between Rocco and Tilde to compare mediums and intermediates, and the gap is neither expanding and neither it is decreasing. It's about the same for the past half a lap between Rocco and Tilde. It is getting smaller right now as we speak. Yeah, Rocco is gaining up on Tilde. He actually gained quite a lot, so this must be the last call for Slicks, as the slick tire seems to be catching on and catching up to the intermediate sets. Christian mediums and Gamer hards. This will be not only a race on the track, but also strategy-wise. Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of different strategy. This is why I love interchangeable conditions, because you see that this, everybody's kind of like just guessing on the fly, and some are making bad calls out there, and some are making good calls. But we will not find out which were the bad calls until the end of the race. As yep, let's see Rocco. Actually, P3, and oh, look at this kid and Rocco going side by side in the S's. Crowley Voice in the background there getting a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, Rocco holding on to P3 there just about, as Kid had a run into turn 1, but had to back out in the S's.
Yeah, and to quote Babs from the chat, "This is why I love rain." Mwahahaha. End of the quote. Christian is so far quicker. We got yellow flags in the back. That was caused by Gyat Strike, who's in the wall, and he's lost the front wing. This could be a potential VSC, but it's not, thankfully, because one driver crash shouldn't cause a full-on VSC or safety car, as he's coming in for a new wing. So now the only question is, are we gonna have a second safety car somewhere later on? Because if we would, then Christian would benefit heavily. If he won't, Gamer might catch him at the end, but those will be answered later on. So far, we've got a battle between Kit and Rocco, still going at it. Kit having a better exit from the corner, but it's a tight situation as he makes a move down the inside on that long straight, and he makes a pass on the Alfa Romeo up into P3, setting up a purple sector. There's going to be a lot of purple color in the upcoming laps as people switch from intermediates to slicks, and Christian He's gonna cross the finish line there. Rocco trying to win the position back on the inside on the final corner. And as they hit the main straight, he regains the position. But Kit is gonna try it one more time. What a nice battle between McLaren and Alfa Romeo as they head into turn 1. McLaren on the outside. Oh, a bit too wide. And he's not gonna get the position, is he? Alfa Romeo, ooh, a bit of bump. But he's gonna hold his position. And congratulations from Kit for backing off, because a lot of drivers wouldn't back it off. But that was a fair play from the McLaren, and he makes it pass nicely from Rocco as he moves up into P3.
Yep, and I was just keeping an eye on Zoom. He's pitted again, so he pitted. He put on fresh inters, so that obviously was a mistake. He had to go into the pits again. So he's had a lot of bad luck today with that 5 grid penalty at the start of the race, and now he's had to pit again due to a mistake in the pits.
And Jake Yol gets a free second time penalty as he's in the gravel. Haven't seen exactly what happened. I just switched to him, but he was stuck in the gravel for a moment as he picked up a free second time penalty, and now he's going to lose positions as well. So it's not a good time for the Mercedes driver. For both Mercedes, actually, Equals is also struggling heavy in this race. Christian expanded the gap over Gamer up to 3 seconds, but the gap doesn't expand much right now as we speak. In the meantime, Kit is going to try to make a move on Rocco again. These guys are just keep going at it the whole time after they met each other, and they're not backing off so far. Fun fact, Rocco actually caught up to Gamer so far. So, Gamer with a slip up, Kit with a slip up as well. So this is not still perfectly dry track. And now we're gonna have 4 drivers getting closer. Rocco, Gamer, Kit, and Crowley Voice all lining up closer towards each other. So it's gonna be an interesting away, but the fight for P2 is on.
This seems to be where the main fight is, isn't it? P2 right now. I mean, P1 may come into contention later in the race as Christian's tires begin to fall off. But yeah, I mean, our Gamer, he is going to come under a lot of pressure right now. I mean, he wants these guys behind him to battle so he can, maintain this P2 position. Christian will be looking at this battle as well behind him and hoping that they do actually go for the overtake on our Gamer and cost him some time, because yeah, that's his only worry right now, is our Gamer's tires will feel pretty good at the end of the race, whereas Christian's will not. And yeah, we may see a race to the flag for the lead of this race, depending on how the tire wear is out there. But yeah, I think our Gamer's in the best spot right now, but Christian's pace may well just give him a cushion for the lead, and he's looking pretty much in control right now, isn't he, out front? 3.5 is the gap.
The King of Rain just predicted we're gonna have a safety car in about 2 to 3 laps. If that's gonna be correct, I'm gonna be stunned, as we're having yellow flags on the main straight. That was caused by the Alpha Tauri, who is being lapped, I believe. That is a Gant strike, yes, so he will be lapped right now by the rest of the boys. The most important factor between the battle of Gamer and Christian is right now, surprisingly, Rocco, who is having a lot of responsibility, because if Rocco were to throw a fight against Gamer, this will definitely slow down the Red Bull driver. If he's going to lose time fighting Rocco and Kit, this will most likely very much help Christian, who will benefit heavily from that. So as long as Rocco... Ooh, Kit's in the wall! As we speak, Kit just slipped too much on the throttle, too heavy on the throttle, and he broke a piece of his front wing at least. I'm not sure if that's a whole front wing off, but that is definitely... Oh yeah, I can see it now. A whole front wing is off. So Kit, who's having a wonderful race so far, is out of the contention, and that leaves a lot of space for Rocco to focus only on Gamer. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder now as Crowley Voice is falling off. So now he can just pick up the LS from Gamer and throw a challenge at him. That's going to benefit Christian heavily.
Yeah, that's terrible. I've been watching Kit. This is his debut Tier 2 race. Him and Rocco both debuting today in Tier 2. And yeah, Kit, unfortunately, I think that was Dunlop corner, wasn't it? And I'm not sure if he took a bit of too much grass, or as you say, too much throttle. But yeah, that's what happens. The back end will get loose and you'll go into the wall. He's paid the price. From wing change will be coming up for him, and that will put him pretty much at the back of the grid and out of the points, most likely, as Christian sets the fastest lap of the race. That's pretty ominous as he increases his lead to our Gamer to 3.7 seconds, so 0.2 improvement that lap. But Rocco's starting to put the pressure on. The only thing about our gamer that's in his favor at this moment is he's got more ERS, but he's having to use a little bit here just to defend from Rocco and hold him off. Hoping those tires fall off pretty soon.
Yeah, and Larson just made a pass on Tilde, making it pretty nice. Zoom delivers the fastest lap of the race so far. And we don't actually have too much close wheel-to-wheel racing due to the conditions shifting very fast. So we're going to have to focus on this race strategy-wise and who's going to benefit the most from the picked strategy. And of course, equals makes the fastest lap. And of course, we're waiting for Rocco to actually make a move on Gamer, because so far, I have to admit that the Gamer is holding up quite nicely when you put into perspective that Rocco is right behind him on better tires, and he does have a DRS. So the question is, does Rocco doesn't want to pass Gamer, or does he can't? Is Gamer just that quick? That is a question that is bothering me, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, if you've got a guy on, you know, better tires behind you, sometimes it's a good idea to let them pass and then just harvest ERS and just keep with them, you know, and let them drag you up the field a little bit. But it is a risky strategy. Our gamer might be just thinking, I'll just try and stay ahead and then I can stretch my legs later when his tires fall off. But yeah, that's the closest battle on track. Rocco looks pretty close onto the back of our gamer after that start-finish straight. But yeah, for the S, there's no real opportunity to pass here. But yeah, I think Rocco's maybe going to try something in the next lap or two.
I mean, he should be, because if he's going to wait too long, these tires will get worse than Gamer as we progress into the race, and then he's just going to fall off from him. So if he wants to battle Gamer for the podium, he should pass him right now, and if he can't build a gap, just try to slow him down, you know, battle blow to blow, wheel to wheel, and just hope for something to happen and for some kind of thing to allow you to stay in the fight, because if he's just going to keep following him, eventually he will get away. Actually, he's doing it right now. He built over a second worth of gap. This must have been caused by some Rocco's individual mistakes, because there's no way Gamer is faster on these hards right now, so Rocco is not having the best time right now.
Yeah, that could be key. Our gamer's going to see that gap and want to maintain it. Yeah, our gamer using a lot of ERS here on the run down to 130R, and that's exactly what you want to do. You don't want him the driver behind to have that DRS, and it looks like he won't. Rocco will not get DRS on this lap, so our gamer will be looking to increase his lead over Rocco and give him that cushion, as Christian, once again, lap after lap, fastest lap from Christian. That's pretty ominous.
Yeah, and he built another second worth of gap, as he's now 4.2 ahead of Gamer compared to 3 seconds. That was a couple of laps before. Tilde and Larson, they keep switching positions despite the fact Tilde does have a penalty. Then he has to fight and spread his elbows, because the best he can do right now is just to hope for Larson's mistake, that he could pick up a penalty for some kind of reason as well. And then he would actually throw a challenge to him. In the same time, Gudla is actually catching up towards Lepson. He is underneath 1 second. There's less than 1 second between them, and as I was saying that, now Lepson is pulling away from the Ferrari, trying to expand that lead to not give him DRS as well.
Yeah, Kit with the fastest lap there, so the fresh hards faster than 6 lap old mediums right now, so that may be indicating a little bit of a crossover phase between our gamers' old hards and Christian's old mediums. Jake, another time penalty, I believe that's 6 he's got now. Yep, 6 seconds in P11, that is not good for him.
Yeah, so he's not having a good time. Everybody seems to be trying to pull away from each other, but Gurla is still sticking up behind Lepson. He's still right there, trying to decrease the gap using the long straight and a lot of slipstream to catch up towards the Williams, as the Ferrari is getting closer. So most likely we're going to see some action into turn 1 if Gurla will make it nicely. Ooh, a bit of slip up from the Ferrari coming into that corner a bit sideways, but he's still there. He's not going to attack anytime soon, but if he's going to hold on to that pace, he will definitely have a chance via the advantage that DRS gives him right now, as he's able to keep up behind his opponent. Christian with a 4.3 gap ahead of Gamer. We're going to have to keep on watching that when this gap is going to start decreasing, because so far it's still about the same, if not better, for Christian.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about Gerda there. That final chicane, you have to absolutely nail that to get any chance of an overtake on the guy in front. I learned this the hard way. It took me about 23 laps before I was able to nail it and finally overtake the guy ahead of me. But yeah, it's all about being on the back end of the guy in front, coming out of that final chicane, and you need to be very close behind, so 3/4 and the overtake is on the table. But if you have a bad exit like Gerla, yeah, it discovers any chance you will not make up that time on the start finish straight. It's quite a short DRS run down to tier 1 or turn 1, sorry.
Yeah, and Gurla is still lurking behind Lepson, trying to find a way past him. This is gonna get another load of slipstream down that long straight, so he's gonna get closer again. So it's all gonna be about the final chicane once more. Is he gonna be able to go through it clean this time with no mistakes? Yellow flag! Rocco retires!
What has happened?
Oh, safety car!
That is a full safety car, yep. Oh my word.
So we're gonna have this race flipped inside out. Christian missed the pit entrance due to the fact that he was already far away from it, and the guy who's gonna benefit the most from it is Janis, as he's coming into the pits right now. He's gonna put on fresh softs. That is absolutely perfect for the Aston Martin, who just got really lucky with this one.
Oh,
what a shame for Rocco, going absolutely great race so far, and now he's in the wall, out of the race.
And Nikoi said, "Go go Rocco," and then his next message was, "No, did I jinx?" Yeah, you did. It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Oh my god, that's huge. But that buys some time for Mario Gamer. But how is this going to play out? Are the front guys going to pit? Another
5-second time penalty.
Zoom. Not your day, Zoom.
Yeah.
Kit as well, DNF. Is he retired in the pits? I don't think he...
Oh my god.
Why would you retire in the pits?
No idea. I mean, so many people... There are 13 drivers in the race, like 3 more DNFs are in the points automatically. No idea. Yeah, but still. We're having a lot of shits and switch-ups right now. I do have to wonder where, after the top 5 will pit stop, Janis is going to be, because that is a huge chance for Janis to get back into the race properly and actually fight for something more, as he's P6 at the moment, but everybody ahead of him either has a penalty or has to pit stop or has to do both of these things. So that is a great opportunity for the Aston Martin. And I mean, softs all the way. I don't think there's any other option. I mean, mediums are not really useful in this scenario unless there's some kind of mistake. Otherwise, I don't see anything other but softs. So here comes the boys into the pits now. And where will Janis show himself after a round of pit stops? I believe he's not going to gain much positions, if any. But he will be on the fresh tires, no penalties, so there's still plenty of opportunities for him to make something out of this race. As Christian is going to come out the pits still as a leader. Gamer, P2, Crowley, P3, then Skamagas, Tilde, then Janis on fresh softs, who will now overtake Tilde, so he's going to gain 1 position. Ahead of him will be, and his teammate with a penalty is ahead of him, so technically Janis could work it out with Skamagas. Oh, he's actually ahead of him. He's actually ahead of him, so he gained 2 positions underneath that stop. And Crowley has a penalty, so technically, if the race would be finished right now, Janis is on the podium.
Yep, it could have been huge for Crowley without that penalty. I mean, I was questioning his last pit stop for softs, but it worked out perfectly if you think about it. This safety car is perfect for him, but that time penalty is going to cost him. Everybody's going to be bunched up here, so yeah, he will seek to get a 3-second gap over Janis, but that is a tall order. You've got both Aston Martins behind him. That's an even taller order. But yeah, Nikoi, what a badly timed message. I will. Yeah, Rocco's in chat saying, "Why,
chat.
brother? Why?"
Yeah, that is a shame. So Janis is in a basically perfect situation. He is basically already in podium situation in P3. He might have a chance to go on to battle for the win, and his teammate right behind him has a penalty. All he can do is play defense for him against Leps and everybody else behind them. So Janis has all it takes to go for podium, if not something more. Will he use that? We're gonna find out after lap 27. Let's see. The tire situation, only 3 drivers remaining on mediums. That is Gurla on fresh mediums, Larsen also on fresh mediums, and Gyatstrike on used mediums, 9 laps old mediums actually. Everybody else is on fresh softs penalty situation. Crowley Voice, he does have a 3-second time penalty. Tilde with the same type of penalty. Jake 6 seconds. Zoom with 5, and Gat Strike with 3 seconds time penalty.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, did Dice unlap himself? Because I know he did get lapped there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay. That is good. So he's back in the race. A lifeline has been thrown to him when it seemed like the light was fading for his race. But he is last and will be...
But is he gonna make it for the restart? That is difficult to say. He does have a lot of distance to go through before the restart, and I don't think they're gonna wait for him too long, so...
Yeah, I have a feeling the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. It may well prove me wrong, but yeah, Dice, he has to be going race pace right now to catch up with that safety car.
Babs said 3 laps longer than I said, but I'm spot on. You would be spot on if the lap you predicted safety car would be the lap the safety car came out, not 3 laps later. Come on, mate. That is quite not spot on, but close enough. He said safety car in next lap, not in this lap, so you can have a little bet with the most rain-loving Greek on this server.
Oh, Dice! Oh my word, Dice is in the wall. But I think he's okay. His back tire hit the wall there, so no front end damage, but yeah, pushing it a bit too much.
Everybody's gonna say in the chat, like, you know, Dicegate, like, trying to expand the safety car for Christian beneficent. The longer it is, the better for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be at the end of this lap, and we still don't know if he's gonna make it for the restart. But everybody else will, because Equals is now getting closer towards the rest of the field. So, goal for Christian, survive Gamer's onslaught. Goal for Janice, overtake Crowley Voice as soon as possible, try to hold up behind the top 2. The plan for Skamagas, hold back everyone, don't let past anybody, no matter the cost. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of tactical warfare in this GP until the end of the season. And Aston Martin are looking very promising right now, of course. Actually, Skamagas, he actually served his penalty, now that I realized that, because I didn't realize it, but yeah, Skamagas, he actually served his penalty, because I remember him having a penalty, now he doesn't have it.
Yeah, that's right, 5 seconds, you can serve that in the pits, so that cost him 5 seconds extra in the pits, but it worked out perfectly. Now he doesn't have that time penalty and can just race freely. We are out for another lap, so Babs is correct, safety car will be in this lap, I believe. Another thing to take into consideration, Equals is now back in this race, and he is a very fast driver. He is soft on. I'm expecting to see some overtakes in the final stint of this race from Equals. Let's see how far up the grid he can finish. Taking into account... Yeah, who's in the pits? Zoom and Dice.
Zoom's in the pits. He actually went for the penalty. That was actually quite smart, but I think it was a bit too late, because now he's going to have to rush back for the restart, but I think he's going to make it. So he does take care of the penalty, because he just took down the 5 seconds he had. Dice, what is his penalty situation looking like right now? He still has 3 seconds, but he's not going to unhandle that, so at least he served those 5 seconds, just like Zoom, and... Now the boys are back in town, and let's see who's gonna make the most of it, as the safety car should be in this lap. The Babs is always right in the chat.
Even when he's wrong.
Even when he's wrong, he is right. I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
I think Dice and Zoom will be able to catch up in this trend, so we will get underway this lap. Christian will be the lead car once the safety car goes in, control the start of this race. Yesterday saw a few different approaches to safety car restarts. One guy, I think it was Lepson, went to the line before getting the race underway, but usually you want to do it out of the final chicane. Usually that's where you can pick up the most, the best advantage if you're that lead car, but we'll see how Christian does it today.
As we're approaching the final meters, final distance of this lap under the safety car, it is official now, safety car in this lap, and now we just have to wait for it. Let's see. Ooh, Gamer getting closer towards Christian, who is slowing down heavily. Crowley Voice lurking behind them. The cars actually do go for ghost mode, so Christian is going really slowly as he now steps on the gas, trying to pull away before the final chicane. Let's see if that's going to be anywhere effective. I mean, Gamer is still onto him. He gained about 0.67 worth of gap, so Christian is getting out of there. And now let's see what the rest of the field will do. There is a possible overtake from Gurla, and in the back we've got some movements from Jake Yols, or Equals. Equals makes the pass on Larson, up for P10. Gurla stays on P8, so there are some moves happening right now. We're gonna have to wait for DRS to get the most of these overtakes done, as Gurla is still closing in on Haas. Ooh, that was a big mistake from Tilde, who is going into the gravel, and he's gonna lose hell a lot of places as Gurla is going up into P7. Yeah, that's basically the end of the race for Haas, unless it's gonna be some kind of safety car, but without that, Tilde is not coming back in this race anytime soon, as he's all the way down to P12, all the way in the back. And Christian is actually keeping up nice gap over Gamer, 0.8, maybe 0.9. He's definitely trying to pull away before they enable the DRS to not allow Gamer to have it, but Gamer reads it through, and he's now closing in to down to 0.7. Crowley, he's struggling to keep up with the Red Bull, as Giannis is lurking, trying to find his way up into the podium place. I mean, of course, he's technically in the podium right now, but if he's not going to pass Crowley anytime soon, he's going to have a lot of cars on his back.
Yeah, and Equals already up to P9, so he's in this DRS trend for the lead, as Crawley just momentarily falling out of DRS range. That is not going to be good once DRS is enabled. Christian fast slap, but that's quickly beaten by our Gamer. So our Gamer is on it today. He's wants his win. He finished P10 last week after back-to-back wins in the previous races, so he wants to get back on winning form here today. But he's got a monumental task. Christian has pace in that McLaren for sure, but can our Gamer outwit him, as we have just over 5 laps left in this race? So yep, I think it's going to come down to just pure pace and maybe ERS and a bit of DRS as well to boot.
Yeah, Equals is trying to find a way past his teammate that does have a penalty, Jake Yowell, but he can't do him just about yet. So Equals is in a difficult situation. He's going to have to make an overtake on his teammate. There he goes, trying to switch on the inside. He can't do it yet, as Jake Yowell defends for P8, and it's not making it easy for Equals, not at all, as the Crowley voices fall away from over 1 second down behind Gamer. So now Gamer against Christian all the way to the finish line for the win, as the rest of the field will battle for podium, as Giannis actually dropped behind, over a second behind Crowley voice, so Crowley will try to get out of there. And Skamagas, he's gonna have to think what's the best to do right now. Does he sit behind his teammate, or does he try to pass him and hunt down Crowley voice as the rest of the field is catching up?
Yep, Mercedes side by side for the final chicane. Equals forcing his way through, but it looks like Jake's got a better run. But I think Equals is, he's all over this. He's got ERS activated. He's almost depleted all his ERS. To get that move done, that might cost him later in the race, but P8 for now for Equals.
Yeah, so he does make a pass for P8, as he's now less than a second behind Gurla, who he's going to hunt down surely. Larson P11 at the moment, trying to fight against Dice, who is P10 in the top. Gamer and Christian both waiting patiently, not having too much of a fight right now. They know it's going to go down to the final moments, onto the checkered flag, so they're going to wait there patiently as the rest of the midfield are going at it. Equals is still trying to get closer towards a Ferrari, and the rest of the boys are just going in a nice little line, but one of these guys will definitely make a mistake sooner or later, as so far Equals was on the run, but now without the battery he's going to struggle to catch up the rest of the field and overtake the rest of the field.
Yep, and I'm watching this gap from Crowley Voice, the Skamagas. He needs a 3-second gap. He's broke at DRS range, which is the first step. Oh, and Arkhammer is going for a move on Christian into the final chicane. Around the outside he goes, inside for the next corner, and that's it. He's got that move done. And Christian, I believe DRS will be activated this lap. Oh, Christian has it this lap, so yeah, Christian has DRS running down here, but I think our gamer was able to get such a good run out of that final chicane that he holds a position. That is huge. that may well decide the race. But yeah, with a few laps left, Christian 60% ERS, our gamer 54%. This is going to go to the wire, and Crawley Voice now within DRS range with these guys again, so that's going to help his bid for a podium, that final podium position. And Christian and our gamer, what a battle, man! What a battle to the wire. I love this.
Yeah, and Aston Martins in the midfield are also struggling because Skamagas with the DRS enabled is now struggling to not overtake Giannis, so they're gonna have to make a decision sooner or later. Do they actually stick together? Do they fight? As Skamagas is right on the back of Giannis, and the rest is also lining up behind him. We've got Lepson, Gurla, and Equals all stacked behind these Aston Martins. Gurla making a move to the right side of the Williams, but he got onto the grass that slowed him down, and he's not going to be able to make a move on the Williams car just about yet. Equals, he didn't use that, he didn't have enough pace to make a move on a Ferrari, so Aston Martins gets a bit of time off, but they're going to have to make a decision soon because Skamaga sitting behind Giannis all the way to the finish line. They could technically survive the oncoming attacks, but it's going to be very, very difficult as now they're lining together basically for the corner, trying to not allow any other driver to go through, and Equals! Oh, he clipped Gurla, and he's going off. No idea whose fault was that, but Equals cut Gurla with his front tire as he clipped Gurla's rear, and now he's down to P9. In the meantime, the top boys are going at it. Christian just regained the lead, and now Gamer's down to P2 on lap 25.
Yeah, Skamagas as well, passing his teammate for P4. And they need to be wary of that gap to Crawley Voice, 2.2, and it's increasing every lap. Crawley Voice needs a 3-second gap to secure the podium, so it's all on the cards right now. Everything's starting to kick off here, isn't it? Our gamer will be hoping, I reckon he's setting him up for the last lap, or maybe the penultimate lap, catch him a bit unaware, but that's generally what happens. But Christian, 0.8 is the gap. Our gamer needs to be careful he doesn't fall out of DRS range here, and he's also got our Crawley Voice behind within DRS range of our gamer, so yeah, it's all kicking off.
And now we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen in the midfield as these boys are still going at it. Gurla's trying to find a way past Lepson once again, but he's now 0.4 behind him, catching up on that long straight, using a lot of Slipstream as they go toe-to-toe again, heading into those final chicanes. Gurla has to make them work if he wants to pass the Williams and try to attack Aston Martins, who are so far holding them back.
Yeah, and we're going to have to switch for position in the lead of the race, because it looks like either Christian got a bad run out of the final corner or our gamer got a really good one, but our gamer chooses to not use that ERS and just hang behind, so that indicates he is going to go for a final lap run. He needs to absolutely nail this lap and be on the back of Christian coming out of that final chicane, or he'll have no chance of the win. But he is saving all his ERS for that moment, it seems.
Yeah, and the question is he going to have enough time and pace to overtake the McLaren, as Christian is still leading the Grand Prix as we're on to lap 26 out of 27 laps in total, so that is a great situation for him. Zoom comes into the pit, most likely to retire from the race, so that would mean we got 12 drivers finishing the race. Actually, Zoom is still in it, he's still going, so good for him. Gurla still 0.3 behind Lepson, still without an overtake. Maybe he's waiting just like Gamer is waiting as we're heading for the second sector, going through him. Christian is 0.5 ahead of Gamer. Gamer will now have a nice bit of slipstream from the McLaren, reducing the gap towards 0.3. He actually had a great exit, way better than Christian, and he's gonna try to make a move in here Alonso style. No, he doesn't have enough pace to do so. He's gonna have to back it up before the final chicane, make it work. Oh, Christian didn't have the best exit. That is a great chance for Gamer, as he has way better exit the final corner. Down the main straight they go, and Gamer is gonna make a move into turn 1. Is he? Yes, he does. And now Christian has one more lap to catch the Red Bull.
Yep, Christian has been leading the entirety of this race until this moment, the last lap. That can be very demoralizing, but he's still in with a chance of the win. There's that long back straight. You don't get DRS, but if you have enough ERS, you can definitely get a move down into the final chicane, and that's what he's going to be hoping for, as he's right on the back of our gamer. This isn't over yet, CM Punk. This is definitely going down to the wire, the very last moment.
Absolutely. And Christian Gamer 0.2 worth of gap. This is basically about the right moment and the right move, but Gamer is in a such better situation because there's not plenty of space left for Christian to make a move. The best one will be right around this corner on that long straight. He's gonna have a lot of slipstream from the Red Bull. He has to make this exit work. Is he gonna make it? I mean, that was a good exit, but Gamer also didn't have a bad one. Christian's gonna get a lot of slipstream. He could do it right here in this moment. This could be a move for the win. Christian down the inside. It's gonna be tight. Who's gonna be backing off?
Oh!
Nobody. But Christian makes the move as they hit to the final chicane. He's in front of Gamer, and he passes him. Oh, there's a bit of slip from Christian, and Gamer's gonna
my
use
word!
that.
Oh, this is gonna be
God,
close.
He's
It's
gonna
gonna
win
be...
this. It's Gamer. Oh, it's a contact, but it's
my
Gamer.
God.
Oh my goodness, it is Gamer. Skamagas finally picks up a podium because
Wow.
Crowley Voice wasn't able to pull away from the penalty. He also loses position to Janis, who goes P4, so it's a 3 and 4 for the Aston Martin. Crowley Voice P5, Gurla P6, Lapson 7th equals P8, Larson P9, and the final man at the points is the man who was in the very back of the race at the beginning of it, Gyat Strike. He's the final man in the points. What a race.
Oh my word. Yeah, Crowley Voice unfortunately looked like he struggled in those last few laps there because he did drop time to the guys ahead, which meant the guys behind were within that range and they were able to jump him with that penalty to Crowley Voice. So unfortunate for him. But yeah, the GRL guys in the Aston Martin, they did pretty well today, I have to say. Skamagas with that genius decision to serve that 5 seconds in the pits, and that's led to him getting that final podium position. But what a race from our gamer and Christian. I have to give credit to both of them. That could have went either way, but I thought it was over for our gamer in that back straight. But he was able to keep his nose in there, and it shows you it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, Christian did a mistake of slipping in the final chicane. If he was able to control the car on this final moment, he would have most likely won this race, but that slip-up allowed Gamer to find a way through down on his right side and pick up the win at the end of the day. And I mean, giving a driver of the day to anyone else but Gamer would be not the best choice. I mean, of course, Aston Martins did amazingly, but our Gamer was the highlight at the end of the day, don't you say?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's what I love about these Tier 2 races. They tend to have these close finishes. Generally speaking, it's our gamer and Christian and equals usually, but equals not having the best race out there today, and managed to a decent recovery, I have to say. He was last at one point, looked like he was going to retire, stayed in it, and P8 in the end for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this grid and going, who is our driver of the day? Can you pick one out of those some fine performances today?
I mean, everybody could be a driver of the day as well because everybody had their own story in this GP, which shined through. I mean, Gamer was the highlight at the end of the finish line. Aston Martins weren't standing out racing-wise, but position-wise and tactical-wise, they played it perfectly. They both were able to finish in the top positions and picked up a podium as well. So, I mean, it's between Gamer and Janis for me. Between Skamagas and Gamer for me. What do you say?
Yeah, I was leaning towards Aston Martin guys. I think Skamagas, as he won the Battle of Greece. But I mean, honorable mention obviously to our gamer and Christian. I'm very much looking forward to speaking to both those drivers, hopefully in the interviews. I want to get their take on that final lap. Let's see if we can find them in the interview channel. So we head over to the interview section of the race. Let's have a look. Anybody in there? Yeah, we've got a few drivers actually. Our gamer and Skamagas. I think what do you reckon? I'll let you make the call. Who we bring in first?
Let's go from the bottom to the top. So we're gonna start with Skamagas.
Okay, well here he is, the man of the moment, Skamagas. There was a battle for Greece out there today, and you won. We'll have to say, we noticed you had a 5-second time penalty. You served it in the pits, and obviously if you crossed the line with that against your name, you probably wouldn't have got that podium today. What was it like out there? I mean, tell us about your race and your strat calls.
Yeah, so I had decent quality. I started from P9. Um, I saw that I had the pace. My setup was I had very high wings. They were very good for the rain. And then I switched to the soft tire. Um, I entered the pit with a bit more speed than usual. 8 kilometers it was. Unfortunately, I was very angry at the moment. But I said, okay, we have a long race ahead. It was early to judge. And the safety car was the perfect strategy. It because I served it and I didn't lose much time because of the penalty.
Yeah.
And then I saw some very good pace with the softs, and the Crowley voice had a 3 second penalty, so I took the advantage and finished on the podium. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were some tough calls out there today. Obviously, the wet conditions weren't expected. Well, probably were expected from you guys. You got the weather forecast. We certainly didn't expect it, but yeah, some tough calls because you saw some people going for different strategies, and yeah, and then that late safety car as well allowed you to serve that 5 second time penalty. Like, what made you make that call, or was it just a no-brainer to go into the pits for tires and then serve that penalty?
It was more of a no-brainer, I believe, because I saw many drivers joining the pits. There were a few laps left, 10 more certainly. So soft was the only way to last until the very end without high wear. So we all went, almost all drivers went for the soft. It was the perfect strategy at this moment, and it paid out at the end. So I had a better pace with the softs.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, that has to be one of your best performances in Tier 2. Would you rate that up there, or like, do you
Sorry.
personally do you think it's one of your best performances? Because from I tend to watch most Tier 2 races, and I think, from memory, that is your best finish.
Yeah, it was the best until now.
Yeah, and it was very interesting from me and CM Punk's. But I pointed out on stream it was the battle of the Greeks. There was you, your teammate, and also Crawley Voice, all bunched up there in the mid. In the fighting for that final podium position. It must feel good to come out on top. So congrats on that. And CM Punk, did we say driver of the day for Skamagas, or have we decided yet?
Uh, I said it's between him and Gamer, and I asked what do you feel like it, so I'll leave you with the choice
Oh,
between one of these two guys. Why don't
well,
you do it live right now?
yeah, I mean, he's in the interview booth, or he's in the commentator's booth. We may as well award it to him. So, Skamagas, driver of the day, P3. What a performance, and look forward to seeing your fine form continue in the subsequent races. I think there's 3 left this season. So, GG to you and your teammate. Big points for you guys today, so well done.
Thank you a lot. It was one of my favorite tracks from way long ago. Suzuka was always it always brings very good results for me. So I expected something good from today, and it went even better than I expected.
Yep, great to hear, man. Yep, you'll enjoy watching that one back, and yeah, we'll hopefully speak to you again soon, Skamagas. So until then, goodbye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay,
Now we
so
have Gurla, Christian, and Gamer, so the
oh,
bottom to top is now ruined. Who do you want to pick up for the next person to be the guest?
let's bring in Christian. We've got
Okay.
yep,
Except,
let's. Oh,
oh
sorry,
shit.
sorry.
Oh,
Yep.
hello. Yes.
Yeah. So welcome to the commentators booth, Christian. You're live on air. Um, yeah, what a finish to the race. I mean, was that as exciting for you, or was it just absolutely nerve-wracking, or what was your thoughts going into that final lap?
Uh, you know, he passed me on the main straight, starting the last lap, and I thought I might have lost it there, but going through sector 1 and sector 2, I mean, I was right up his gearbox, and I thought that, I mean, if I can stay this close, I can get him on the back straight through 130R, which I almost did.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. If I hadn't broken 50,000 meters too late, I might have been able to win it.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking good. I thought you actually got him going into the final chicane, but he was just, just there, close enough. And I think, yeah, that slight mistake that cost you. I mean, it was less than a tenth crossing the line. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously P2, you want to be P1, but P2 is still a great finish. You're still in the title hunt, very much so. Um, yeah, I mean, the whole race, you were leading pretty much, weren't you? Like up to lap 20, 26, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I think Argamer, yeah, he did make a move before that as well, so technically led the race for. Yeah, you didn't lead the whole race, but the majority of the race, it looked like you were in control. It looked like this is Christian's win. We were saying the hard tires of our gamer might if there wasn't any safety cars, might come into play later in the race. Were you worried about that at all? Because you were on the medium tires, which obviously would fall off a bit sooner.
Yeah, we were just talking about that actually. Around what the safety car came out lap 17 and lap 16 and 17, he only lost like a tenth a lap, so they were starting to equal out pretty fast. Which, I mean, I had what, 4.5 seconds gap to him, but I have no idea if I would have been able to keep it.
Yeah, so I mean, what are your thoughts going into the last few races in the championship? Then are you still absolutely everything's to play for? I mean, you have to say you're not that far off that top step. Are you looking at these last three races and thinking these are I've got a good chance here, or are you kind of reserving
I
your
mean,
yeah
I'm always I'm always downplaying it every time, but these last three races, I like him. I like him, and I think I'm fast. Hopefully, I'm faster. Uh,
Well, speaking of fast, let's talk about quali. I mean, that lap was insane. You were, I think, almost 5 tenths faster than the rest of the field, or well, our gamer behind. Tell us about that lap. I mean, is that what you were expecting today, or did that come out of nowhere?
uh, I mean, ooh, I hate it. I was expecting it. Yeah, sure, but
Yeah, sure. Why not?
it just sounds like I'm cocky. I hate it. I'm sorry. Uh, well, yeah, I kind of did. I mean, but after I messed up my first lap and then my second lap, it, it, it wasn't it wasn't good, but it wasn't too bad either. But it was still, you know, 4 tenths from what I wanted, and I mean, if you just make a mistake, you can I could have lost pole position, or I can just send it and do a 26.1, which I thankfully did, uh, which came in clutch in qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to say, heading into this season, before we'd even got to round one, everybody was saying you're going to win this easily. It hasn't been the case. There's a lot of factors in a season that can come into play. But you're definitely up there, and you're definitely showing that you are a threat to our gamer's bid for the title. I know he wants it bad, but I'm sure you want it just as bad. So looking forward to the final 3 races, Christian. But unlucky today on missing out on that win. Um, but I'm sure there will be a few more wins possibly coming towards you in the next
Yeah.
few races, maybe. But
Hopefully.
yeah, we will move on to Gurla, and appreciate you taking the time to join us in the commentators booth. We'll speak to you again
Yep.
soon. And
I'm gonna go cry now. See ya.
oh, per Christian. Oh, he took it well though, didn't he? Considering,
Yeah.
but let's bring in Gurla. We've got our gamer as well waiting there, but let's have a word with Gurla, who was mixing it up big time. Finish, was it P6 in the end? So he got past Lepson in the final laps of the race here.
Yeah, P6. Very good.
Yeah, so just give us an overview. A lot happened in that race, so refresh our memories. How was the race for you?
Yeah, so first of all, I messed up qualifying because I kept going out with a lot of fuel because I always forgot to put minimum fuel. So I kept going out with a lot of fuel, and yeah, and I made a mistake in the last lap of quali, so yeah, started P16, I think. So yeah, then the race was just I didn't make any. Actually, I don't think I made a single overtake except for Lepson at the end. So I just kept going behind the other people. Then people kept crashing and spinning, and I just kept going. And yeah, then at the very end, I fought Lepson. I pushed him a little bit to make him lose DRS from the cars in front. So when he lost DRS, I was able to overtake him. And then in the last lap, he tried to overtake me back, but right on the last chicane, we had a bit of contact, but nothing much, and I came at the end P6. So I almost got Crawley, but due to the fight with Lepson, I couldn't. I think Crawley had 3 seconds penalties. So at the end, he was like 1.6 ahead of me. So I think if I didn't fight Lepson that much, I could have gotten Crawley, but if I didn't fight Lepson, I wouldn't gotten Lepson. So yeah, that's the way it is.
Yep, indeed. But yeah, we caught a lot of battles from you on track today, so good to see. I know from past experience of racing with you that you are pretty good at Suzuka. Was this one of the tracks you were eyeing up on the calendar, thinking I could do well here?
Yeah, this is if not my favorite, one of my favorite tracks. I always do well compared to my other tracks here. So yeah, when it comes to Suzuka, I always feel like I can. Well, first of all, I feel like I don't have to practice as much to be competitive, and just in general race pace, I don't know. I feel comfortable taking more risks. I don't know why it's like this on this track, but yeah, I guess I don't know. I like this track.
Yeah, it definitely shows. I mean, I've definitely have first-hand experience of your pace at this track. Are you looking at any of the remaining 3 tracks and thinking the same thing? You know that you fancy your chances, or are you just gonna throw something at the wall and see what sticks?
Let me have a look at the races. So it's
Netherlands, Jeddah,
Netherlands,
and Austria.
Jeddah, yeah. Maybe Austria is another one that I like.
Yeah.
The other 2 not so much. So I would bet to see me top 10 again in Austria.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
look forward to that one. But yeah, Jeddah and Netherlands first. So let's see what happens there. Congrats again on P6. Fine performance from you today. Definitely some very challenging conditions out there today. So P6 in the end, very solid result from you, Gurla. And thanks for taking the time to join us in the commentators booth. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys, and see you next week.
Bye.
See ya.
And
And gamer's gone.
he
Oh wait.
yeah,
No,
I see
yeah,
him.
he's
He
gone.
said he said bring him in anyway, so I'm gonna yoink him from his voice channel.
Ah, he's in his cave. Okay, okay.
He's hiding out there, yeah. The winner's enclosure. Our gamer.
Finally.
Hi. See,
Hello.
Punk, do you want to ask him the first question?
First question is, do you need a new pair of pants after the final corner and the final main straight?
No, actually, no, I enjoyed that very much. I don't know, like, that's just good racing from Christian. Just like, I gotta give it to him. Like, he gave space there, even when like he's at a vulnerable point, he was spinning or like he outbroke himself, and he still managed to have the racecraft and the awareness to see me going around the outside and give me space. So yeah, hats off to him, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair message, yeah. Our gamer, I have to ask though, like, I mean, there were several points in that race where like, you know me, I'm very, um, I try to be non-biased, but I do root for you in races, I have to say. And I was watching you, I was going, yeah, this isn't looking good. Like, Christian is just so fast. Like, you saw his lap in quali, and then in the race, obviously pulling away on those mediums. Once it dried out, you were on the hards though. So were you hoping, like many others were, that the hards would outlast the mediums, and then that would bring you back into play, or what was the strategy from your end?
Yeah, like I think I had a couple of guys in VC, and I asked Eagle Ghost to give me like the tire wear. Like I gave him I think Zoom's tire wear from last race in the
Mm.
mediums, which is 3.5% per lap. And he gave me that it was gonna be I think 60% or 50% by the
Oh,
end for the mediums.
okay.
So I said, okay, that is just too high. I think 60% is like the second drop off. So I was just gonna go hard, and I was kind of not really pushing for the win. I was pushing for an alternative strategy because if I go the same like Christian, I'm not gonna catch him or beat him. That just was clear the whole race. He has the pace on me, but I was just going for the alternative strategy that could give me the win. And if no win, I can keep up ahead of Rocco, anyways on the hard. So yeah, just trying to do something different there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, one thing I've noticed from you this season, it seems like you've just reached a new level. You know, in previous seasons, you might have, like, if you're in a similar kind of situation, you might have like given up mentally on challenging for wins. But this season, you've kept your, you know, kept your oar in, as they say, and it's paid off big time because as you know now, like until you get to the flag, you don't know how that race is going to pan out. There's a lot of different factors that can happen, so many different factors, and yeah, you kept in today, and it paid off. Um, I have to say though that last run down to that final chicane, that was heart in the mouth moment for a lot of people watching, I think, as well. Yeah, I mean, it looked like Christian got it going into that final chicane, but you just did enough. And then when he made that slight mistake then, and just coming out of that final chicane, you just had it. Did you know coming out of the final chicane, this is it, I've got it, or did you think, you know, it wasn't until you actually saw the flags that you knew you had to win then?
Honestly, like I'm gonna tell you like a bit before, like 130R. My point of view there was I'm not gonna give up. It's I know that he had more ELS and he had that on me before, like before the 130R. But I was gonna stick it out, and we went beside into 130R, which is unusual for tier 3 maybe. But yeah, that was a good racing also. But I just changed my mentality because the previous races were I gave up. Like if someone sends it on me, I just give him the corner for him, and he can just push me wide, and he can take the place. But I think I changed my mentality now, and I said I'm not gonna give up the place if I have like a slimmest of chances. So I was gonna go for it into the chicken, and
Yeah.
I was surprised. Like mid braking, he like pulled away. I think he just broke. I think a bit too late because Like I think I broke late, but he broke like so much later than me, and he locked up. So at that point, I think before I would have been give up because maybe I didn't really expect him to give the space into the second part of the chicane. But I had a good run, and my style in the chicane was always like prioritize the second part. Because if you saw Christian's the past few laps, he goes hard into the first chicane or the first corner, and he goes slower into the second one. For me, I go slower in the first and prepare the second because I can get a good run into the straight. So that gave me the chance to have control into the car, and I can just go to the right of him. I can give him space all I can, and also have momentum there and like demand the space. Because if I'm there, he can really push me out. And after the second one, I think we're just close. I was always careful on the exit there, the past few laps. I was less careful there after this lap, and I was trying to push him wide because I was ahead of him, so I was gonna push him to like the widest part. Because if I go narrow, he might have a better run and he might win actually. But I just tried to push him wide as much as possible and give him the longest line to the straight finish line. And I think I knew there because he kind of clipped my wheel mid part of the last corner. I think we like made some contact there because I was kind of aggressive with pushing him to the left, and yeah, I was still like confident that he was still like half a car with behind me still. So yeah, I was still like confident I was gonna be the winner of the finish line. Sorry, it's a long explanation. But
No, it's all good. I was just thinking as well, the end of the race contrasted with the start of the race session where you weren't even on the grid in quali at the start. Me and CM Punk picked up on that. Saw you leave the session. So what happened there? What was the issue?
I don't think I left the session. I wasn't really in the session to begin with, but I had I had to go to the bathroom, and I was fighting for my life
Oh
there
my
and
god.
for a bit.
Wow.
I didn't think I was gonna make it, to be honest, but I had to because there's a championship on stake, so
Oh my
I
word.
just yeah.
Incredible
Yeah,
scenes.
and I made it there, and I had good 2 laps, but maybe I had a third lap could have been went for maybe P2, but yeah, Christian just pulled a great lap there, and I was really thankful for equals, to be honest, because he spun and he had cold tires, so I can just get him before even turn one. So yeah,
Yeah, and Curly Voice is doing the poop emoji in chat. Um, uh,
am I adding? We'll see.
that is interesting. That is definitely interesting. I haven't heard that excuse before from the title the guy in the title hunt who's leading the title hunt taking a bathroom break just before quali, almost missing the session. But yeah, you got there in the end, got 2 runs in. And then wet conditions at the start. How did you find those wet conditions? It looked like initially you were pretty fast, and then I think Christian seemed like to get his rhythm and started pulling away.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I saw that it was Inter's, and I don't know. Like the first few laps, turn one was good for me. Then suddenly I like forgot how to brake for turn one, and I went wide like 3 times for no reason. Actually, I have no idea still. Like I honestly thought I had wing damage because the understeer there was so huge that I was like doubting myself the whole time. But honestly, like for Inters, just count me out because Christian and Equals are always on it from the first lap. And I think when I was close behind Christian, I can see his lines, I can see where he breaks. I can follow him. He's a good driver in the wet conditions. But when I had like is a gap in between us, I can really see him. So I have to drive on my own, and I'm not really that good in inters unless like it was the last few laps because I get like used to it lap by lap. But yeah, I think Christian had to pace the whole race. It's inters or tries. He had good pace, but I was just managing. And if I was behind him, I can keep up. But if there's a gap, he can pull away in like double 10 C lap.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think you've taken up enough of my time. I don't have much time left. I'm quite an old guy, so I have to.
Apologize.
No, it's fine. I was going to get to how the last few races of the season, but I'll spare you that for this one. But very much looking forward to see how this championship plays out. Still all to play for, but I think equals with that performance today, he might be out of that race for the title, for the driver's title. So it looks like it's between you and Christian. So good luck for the last few races, and thanks again for your time in the commentator's booth. Appreciate that.
Very much. GG guys, bye bye.
All right. And there we go. CM Punk, we have got another one in the bag. That's around 11, I believe. 3 left. What do you think? I just want to ask you one last question, and it's who do you think is going to win this title?
It's going to depend a lot on how well does Christian Gamer enjoy the tracks that are upcoming, and I have no idea which one they prefer compared to what we're going to have, but yeah, Christian is great at qualifying if he can keep up his pace on these laps, these hot laps. This is definitely a hint towards him. Today, our gamer was a bit better in those conditions, but in the end, my bet would be for Christian just because of that pure, absolutely incredible pace in the quali sessions. If he can stick it in the race as well, it's an easy title for him, unless he can do that, unless he can't do that.
Yeah, and as we saw today, safety cars played a big factor in that race today. It looked like Christian was going to win that if I hadn't been for that late safety car, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. He will be kicking himself tonight for missing out on that win. Our gamer extends his lead in the championship, so tune in for the last 3 races of this Tier 2 season, and of course tune in tomorrow for Tier 1, where you can be guaranteed another crazy finish. They seem to always deliver in Tier 1, so it'll be myself and Tipsy Bob doing the commentary for that. CM Punk, once again, pleasure doing commentary with you. And
Same, thank you.
hopefully we will adorn the mic soon. But if not, we will leave it there. And thanks to everybody for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. Good night, guys.
Good night.